In this video, we will continue our exploration of NSString. There's a lot to cover, so let's get to it. First, I'm going to delete all that we have in here, except for the NSLog statement. Let's get rid of that, clean everything up a little bit. As we demonstrated in the last video, we showed uppercase string. Well, there's also lowercase string and capitalized string. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this in. As you can see, we're implementing it the same way we did uppercase string. We create a string, and we call it lower, and then we create another string called lowercase me in all uppercase letters, and we send lowercase me the message lowercase string. We do the same thing with capitalize. In our log statement, we use the % and the @ symbol, and then followed by a comma and the word lower, which is our NSString. That's the variable that holds NSString. And then next we do the same thing with capitalize. So I'm going to hit Command R to run this. As we can see in the console, we have lowercase me has all been lowercased and capitalized me has been capitalized. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And there are times when you will want to pad a string for column alignment. One way to do this is to use the method string by padding to length with string starting at index. This will pad the string with whatever character you specify, the number of times you specify, and where you want this padding to begin. Okay, so I'll go ahead and paste this in. And the way this is going to work, we're creating an NSString called S1. We're using the string weight bench, a constant string, and then we're going to pad it with 20 characters. And the character that we're going to use is a space. And we're going to start at index 0. And the index 0 means that we are going to start with the letter W. The very first character in this string is where the numbering begins. So this is going to pad 20 characters to the right, starting with W, W being 0. We're going to do the same thing with bicycle and then with painting. Now down here in our NSLog statement, we're using two %@ symbols. The first one will hold our string, and the second one will hold another NSString with the value we want for that particular item. And this will line everything up in a column format. Let's go ahead and run this and see what it looks like. So I'll click Command R. And we can see right here we have weight bench, and it's padded it over to the right, and everything's lined up over there, the 150, 215, and 50. They're all lined up in column format. So this is one good way to set up columns in your formatted output. I'll go ahead and remove all this. And there are times when you will want to see if a string contains specific characters either at the beginning or ending of a string. To do this, we can use the has prefix or has suffix methods. Go ahead and paste that in there. The has prefix or has suffix methods both return a Boolean value. And a Boolean value inside of Objective-C is either a yes or a no. They represent an integer value of 0 and 1. As we can see here, I've put in a web address, and I'm checking to see if it has a prefix. Does it begin with HTTP? On the next line, I'm seeing if it ends with .net. In the NSLog statement, I'm using the %d for the integer value, and we'll go ahead and print this and see what it says. So I used Command R to run the program, and they both come out 1 because they're true. Oftentimes, though, we will want to see another representation for these values. We can use a ternary operator to show our results in a yes or no value. Let's go back over to the editor, and I'll remove these two log statements, and I'll paste in the ternary operator. Now, the ternary operator is very similar to an if-then statement, but basically this is how it works, and this will be covered in a later video, so don't worry about it if you're not understanding this perfectly right now. What we're doing is we're saying prefix, if that is equal to 1. We know up here that when we get prefix back, that it's a Boolean value, and that value is either 1 or 0. To test equality for 1 or 0, we use the double equal sign. Right after that, we put a question mark. So this is saying if the prefix is 1, if they are equal, then you return yes. If not, we use a colon to separate the value that's returned if it's not true. And in this case, it would be no. So let's run this using Command R. And we can see that now both values return yes. Now we're still just scratching the surface of NSString. There is a lot you can do with this. You really need to pour through the documentation, just look through each method that's in there, to find out all the things you can do with NSString. And in our next video, we'll cover NSMutable string, which is the mutable version of NSString.